What's up, everybody? This is Podcast Gameoverse, episode 152 for Saturday, August 12th, 2023. I am Wasabi Ice Cream, joined as always by Rick. What's up?
Yo, what's up, Wasabi? What's up, everybody? It's Rick. I'm here, you're here, we're all here to talk about video games. I played some shit, you played some shit. You probably played more shit than I did. But let's start where you always start, man. Tell the people what you've been playing.
Game Pass updated. Some new games are available on there. I played A Short Hike.
I played none of those because I'm horribly addicted to Diablo IV. But tell us about A Short Hike. That actually looked pretty cool.
It's great.
People term walking simulator a lot, but it looks like
It's not a walking simulator.
It's not.
It's more of a like platforming exploration game. I don't know what buzzwords you use to describe it.
I was thinking of another game. I was thinking of that Firewatch game. Okay, so this is like
this is no Firewatch. This is a video game.
Okay.
Where you're just on like a little hiking trip and your grandma or whoever is like, hey, why don't you try climbing the mountain? And
that's a weird fucking thing to say at grandma, but all right.
And so you like decide to go climb the mountain, but while you're climbing the mountain, there's all these characters and there's a bunch of stuff to do. There's a bunch of stuff to pick up. There's a bunch of stuff to collect. It's like it's a little bit like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And that you have the stamina meter in they call golden feathers. And golden feathers, the more you collect, the more you have stamina to like climb the side of the mountains. You know, you can climb anywhere. You can double tap the jump button and that lets you flap your wings. You're a little bird creature, so you can fly a little bit.
Like that. That's
cool. Every time you hit the jump button, you like flap your wings a little to get a little higher. And like that's it. It's just like a chill game where you just run around, just talk to the people and just do stuff while you get like basically you can just climb the mountain if you want, but you can also just get sidetracked and just start doing other stuff. And there's like a ton of stuff to do. You can get a boat. This kid was like, hey, take me out on the boat. And I was like, okay. And then he's like, hey, you want to do the race? Set up this race on the boat. You want to do the race? I'm like, yeah, let's do the race. And like in the middle of the race, he's like, hey, I set up a big ass ramp. Take that ramp. And you can take the ramp and then you break the boat. It does a lot of stuff that like actually subverts your expectations, because you do look at this game and you go, oh, I know what this game is going to be, but it does do things to kind of subvert your expectations a little bit. Like there's you can make choices, and like the stuff that you find actually gives you more like dialogue options to some of the characters. Like, hey, I found a rock that you just smash it with your shovel and money just comes out. And I was like, when does this end? It just kept coming like for like 2 minutes. It was just raining money out of this rock. And then I was able to tell the park ranger about it, and she was like, no, you're lying. They don't have those. Maybe on the West Coast. Yeah.
Maybe on the West Coast.
Yeah.
That's good. The game has a sense of humor. I can dig that.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. The dialogue's really cool. The characters are really fun. Yeah, it's a really just fun game to just kind of just run around and just do stuff in.
I like that.
So a lot of fun.
And you give it a shot, man. It sounds fun. It's on Game Pass, so it's not going to cost me anything to try it.
And it's really short. It's only like, I mean, you could probably 100% the game in like 4 hours maybe. Like it's not very long, even though there's a lot of stuff to do and I didn't even do it all. But I did what I wanted, and I was like, I got my fill, and then that was it.
I'll have to give it a try then. You also play the UFO game. You're trying to get me to play it, but like I got a baby, so
Yeah. Um,
how was that? So it's a multiplayer like puzzle game, right? Like a puzzle platformer,
it's
I
a
think.
puzzle platformer. Um, if you ever played Super Puzzle Platformer Deluxe, it's the same guy, Andrew Morrish. Um, it's a puzzle game with platforming. I don't know how else to describe it. You got like a gun. Um, I'm gonna do a video on it. I didn't do the video yet because
Okay.
I just got busy. But yeah, we need to do a video on it. But it's not very complicated. It's just
Yeah.
it's hard to explain if you haven't seen it before.
No, that's
But
fun. I'll give it a shot for sure. Like it looks cool.
basically, it's like what if like Tetris, you had a guy that ran around the Tetris board
Yeah.
and can like manipulate the pieces. So, but at the same time, blocks are falling. So you have a gun, you can shoot the pieces, and that's how you clear them. So the pieces come out in different colors, and if they're touching, they're linked. So if you shoot one of those colors, then they all take damage, and then you can burst them and get like chain damage. Um, but shit falls out the sky, so if anything lands on you, you take damage, and
All right.
the floor is lined with spikes. So if you touch the floor, then you also take damage. You can take up to like 2 hits before you die.
Jesus, this game's trying to fuck you up.
Yeah, it gets very hectic. It's actually extremely difficult. It is
Yeah.
extremely difficult. The tutorial I had to do like 5 times because it was just fucking too hard. I was like, this is crazy. The tutorial is this hard. So, but it's
That
a
sounds
lot of
dope.
fun. It's a lot of
That
fun
sounds
though.
dope. Like it sounds like fun. I like you get like hectic like multiplayer experience. Like I like those kinds of games, man. Like the Alien Hominid game was a lot of fun, even though it was fucking madness.
Yeah.
I like oh god, what's that other one? Oh god, it's getting a sequel. It's moving from an isometric view to like a third person over the shoulder view. Oh god, spreading
Helldivers.
democracy across. Yes, Helldivers. Like I fucking love Helldivers, and that's just insanity.
Yeah.
So like those kinds of hectic, like crazy multiplayer games, I love that shit. So
Yeah. Well, the
it
multiplayer
sounds
is the multiplayer in this is not um it's not really a multiplayer game. It has multiplayer. It has like 30 player multiplayer or some shit. I assume it takes the form of like one of those like a Tetris 99 or one of those
oh
games.
yeah,
I think that's what it's like. Um but it's a single player game. It just has that's also an option,
yeah.
which I didn't get to try any of that yet.
I'll give it a shot for sure. Like it sounds fun. Um, you're also playing some games on PlayStation streaming, right? How's that?
Yeah, I want to do a more in-depth look at what I wanted to do was like revisit some of the streaming services
Yeah.
because I don't know, it's just been a while and the Xbox one is the one I have Game Pass Ultimate, so that's the one that I can like just keep trying whenever I want. But every time I go back to it, it's the same shit. So I'm like, okay, this hasn't evolved at all. So I just had an urge to just play some Ratchet and Clank. I was like, yeah, I want to play some Ratchet and Clank. Actually, what I wanted to do was play some Metal Gear. So I loaded up the PlayStation. I don't even know what they're calling it anymore. It's not called PlayStation Now anymore. I think it's just called PlayStation Cloud Streaming.
Yeah,
But
it had a rebrand, but it's the same shit.
you have to
I know
subscribe to
exactly how.
the PlayStation Premium tier, the top tier PlayStation subscription. You need it just for the cloud. So I was like, whatever, fucking $20. I'll just do it for like a month just to
Yeah.
see. Um, it's like it's both dog shit and fantastic at the same time. allow me to explain. Number one, the UI, absolute trash.
Yeah.
Just absolute trash. There's no search option. All they have is specific categories that you have to flip through to find what you're looking for. So I was looking for Metal Gear, and I was like, okay, what is Metal Gear under? Action, shooter, action adventure, RPG. I don't know. We're gonna flip through these categories and go through every game one by one to find Metal Gear. Eventually, if you keep going down through the categories, you go through like A through Z. So
Yeah.
turns out Metal Gear is in none of those categories because there's not a single Metal Gear game on the entire service,
What?
which is insane to me.
That's crazy.
There's not
That
a
pisses me
single
off.
one. Not a single one. I was like, that's insane. You're PlayStation. You're the Metal Gear guys.
It's almost, it sounds like it's easier to play a lot of these Metal Gear games on like PC now than it is like
Yeah.
on PlayStation. Like I think the first like 3 Metal Gear games are on GOG, right? Like I don't know how good the GOG version is, but it's there.
Yeah.
There's more that I can say for Xbox.
So yeah. So I
That's
was like,
bullshit. That kind of pisses me off a little bit.
well, because I was like, we were talking about Metal Gear Solid 4 before, and I was like, oh man, I bet that's on the
Position
streaming.
now.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, because I think I said that during the last episode. I was like, that's the only way to play Metal Gear Solid 4 is if you have a PS3 or if you stream it. I could have sworn it was on the streaming, but it is not. So
That's a bummer.
so so yeah, I was bummed out by that, and then so I loaded up Ratchet and Clank. I was like, oh, you know what? I'll just play these PS3 remasters of Ratchet and Clank. So I
Yeah.
load up the first game. The one thing I like about the service is that your saves are still on the cloud. So if you had a
Yeah.
PS3 and you uploaded your saves to the cloud on your PS3, those saves are still there.
Oh, that's good.
So all my saves are still there. So I picked up right where I left off. I recognized everything. I was like, oh shit, yeah, this is right where I left off. And there's a problem. There is a
Yeah.
problem with the my controller has Hall effect joysticks, and I watched a video recently about some guy who tried to install Hall effect joysticks on his DualSense controller on his PS5.
That does
And
not work. Really.
ironically enough, he also tried Ratchet and Clank with his controller and ran into, I guess, the same fucking issue. Even though I was playing a PS3 game, he was playing the PS5 Ratchet and Clank. But there's an issue where you don't get the full range of movement.
That's annoying.
So, and I was like, what the fuck is going on here? It was I was only experiencing it on the Ratchet and Clank, but I think he was experiencing it on everything. But I was like, this is fucked up. I can't play this game. Luckily, it has you can use a D-pad to move, so that's how I was doing it.
That's so
But
annoying.
I thought it was my I thought I fucked up. I was like, oh no, this is not. I can't play these games if it's fucked up. But then I loaded up, which also like Ratchet and Clank, it had the telltale signs of like cloud gaming. It had like the delay. Well, actually, it was mostly just the delay, which I couldn't tell if it was just the game that was delayed or if it was, the cloud shit messing with it. So I was like, okay, let me load up like a PS4 game because this is an old game. Maybe it just had that delay and I just didn't know. So I load up a PS4 game, native PS4 game. They added those recently to the cloud service. So I was like, okay, let's try this. Load up Sackboy, and my God, dude, it was like fucking perfect. I've like not played a cloud game like that. If you had told me it wasn't, if you had told me it was in the cloud, I would not have believed you. That's how good it was playing.
Damn. Okay.
Like even visually was damn near perfect. I was like, this is incredible.
That's pretty neat, actually. Wow.
And like I didn't have the controller issue, so I was like, oh, okay, I guess it's just that game then. But yeah, it was incredible. I was like, oh shit, and the game was good too. I was like, oh, I should buy this fucking game on Steam. It
Yeah,
was that
I heard
good.
Sackboy's really good. Yeah.
Um, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stop playing this. I'm gonna get it on PC. But it was, yeah, it was surprisingly fucking good. I was like, holy shit. It made me want to revisit the Xbox because I remember playing Outriders on the Xbox Cloud and it being fucking terrible, absolutely terrible. The worst thing I'd ever played in the cloud. And Outriders is on the the PlayStation streaming. I didn't try it on there, but I want to just to see if it's any worse than it was on Xbox. Because yeah, it was very impressive. I was very impressed. So
That's really cool. It's really cool.
um yeah, so there's my cloud gaming story. It's got me wanting to try all these services again because I've tried them all before, but it was a
Yeah.
while ago. So I want to see if any of them have, upgraded. And it seems I think the answer to that is no. But
Yeah. I've tried like the Amazon streaming on my
yeah,
phone. What is it called? I think Luna? Is that what it's called? Luna?
yeah.
I tried that on my phone. So I have like Prime Gaming, so every month it's like, oh, here's some new games on like Luna you can play, and they had a they had the new Mega Man on there. Mega Man 11, I think is where we're on now. So I was like, okay, this will be good to try because it's like a very like twitchy like what's the term I'm looking for? Very like accuracy demanding, game. It's
Yeah.
very reaction based. It depends on like your reaction and movements a lot. So this will like help settle that score for me. And yeah, it feels like dog shit. Like I could not play it. Part of it too is that it was using touchscreen controls, but I noticed a delay on it was making it even worse. So I was like, okay, this sucks. Like
Shit.
I guess I just cloud gaming isn't far enough ahead for me to get a comfortable experience. Um,
Yeah.
I did try it with the Xbox cloud gaming too. With I tried playing some because there's that kick when I was playing Fable. So I was at home, I was at work on my lunch break. I got this awkward amount of time before I got to go back to work. I was like, oh, I can fucking play Fable 3, just pick up where I left off. It's all in the cloud. So I did that, and that was pretty dope. Like it felt pretty comfortable. I was surprised like how well it worked. I didn't have any issues with it. Was it perfect? No, but that was to be expected, and I was pleasantly surprised how comfortable it felt. And I have an Xbox controller. I attached it. I tried it again later to see how it felt, and it was pretty good. I was surprised how smooth it was. I'm still not totally convinced it's going to be the future of gaming quite yet, but I see the appeal now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't played it too much. Maybe now I can try it. Not
The,
ever a little
the
further
best
along.
the best services I used was Stadia, ironically, which is crazy. But Stadia was the absolute best. Oh no. The Nvidia one was the absolute best. But Stadia was a
Yeah,
close second.
yeah,
Um and then the third place, who gives a fuck, because they were all
yeah.
not good.
They're all
Like
terrible.
there was
Yeah,
never anything even close to those two. But yeah, when I played Sackboy, I was like, holy shit, this is like damn near perfect. There were like a couple hiccups, but I think those were just like normal connection issues.
yeah,
It was like crazy how good it was. So I'm guessing, just if you're playing like modern, because you're playing that on a PS4, I guess. And the same thing with like the
yeah,
Xbox. Like when I go to the Xbox shit, I'm looking to play older games. I'm looking to play games that I can't play but with any normal means. I'm looking for like PS3 exclusive games, or Xbox
yeah,
360 exclusive. For a Bullet Witch, or
yeah,
Lollipop Chainsaw, or Metal Gear Solid 4. Like that's the shit I'm looking for.
Yeah.
like you have to emulate these to play them. So, but those are sadly those are the ones that don't play very well.
Yeah.
So it's a bummer.
That's a huge bummer. I haven't been playing too much lately. I'm still playing Diablo 4 like a motherfucker. Like I'm playing it right now because
I
I'm addicted
uninstalled
to it.
that.
Yeah, you're telling me.
I've had it with that game. So
I'm into it. I've not had it with this game yet. I finally hit this like point where like I was able to run another build, a build I wanted to play with Druid for so long, and it's going great.
what is it about Diablo that, because I uninstalled that and then I reinstalled Path of Exile, and it's just instantly so much more satisfying, just instantly.
I think it's because Diablo focuses a lot on like the action aspect of it. Like the building stuff, the build crafting stuff is there, but this game makes you like feel really, when you get powerful, you get really fucking powerful in
I'm
this game.
inclined to disagree. I'm inclined to
I
disagree
You haven't seen
because
the trample slide Earth's Fury Druid build yet,
the
and that
the
is
problem
incredible.
with for me with Diablo, it was a two-pronged thing. It was the lack of resource, so
Yeah,
I'm always resorting back to my basic attacks, and then the overabundance of cooldowns. So if I'm not lacking in a resource, all of my other abilities are on cooldown, and it's like the balance of those two things are just makes it so unsatisfying to play. Whereas in Path of Exile, there's no cooldowns at all, and you have or like there is a resource, but you're almost never at your resource limit. And if you are at your resource limit, you have potions there's resource potions that you can just pop, and it refills just by killing enemies. So it's like not even a limited resource, and like those two things solve my Diablo problem almost instantly.
yeah.
And then in Path of Exile, there's no five ability limit. You can slot in as many abilities as you want, and I fucking love that. It's like everything I didn't like or I had an issue with in Diablo. Path of Exile, I was just like, nah, dude,
I think my thing is that like it's the end game for Diablo. I really like once you beat the game and you're running like the seasonal stuff and what is it, the Hall of Whisper stuff, the Nightmare Dungeons, like that stuff is like it's compelling to me. Does Path of Exile have an equivalent to that? Like once you're done with the story, it's like, oh, here's just like
yeah, it's like
dungeons you can
maps.
run. Okay.
It's like the maps, which I've never even gotten to because there's a campaign. That's the thing about Path of Exile is you have to do the campaign. So people speed run the campaign every season, and
Yeah.
it like announces who's the first person to do certain things in the server. So like every new season, you'll be like, Bong Lover 420 just completed is the first to complete the XXY, and so
See,
people.
like I think that's what I need to get to because like I need to get to that in Path of Exile for me to like really have fun with it because that's what I have fun with in Diablo. It's like it's the like a Diablo 3. It was like running rifts, gambling at the at what's his name, the fucking that merchant, and getting unlocking Kanai's cube, unlocking the slot into it. Like it was all that end game shit that I was into,
Yeah, I don't know.
and
I might have played more. I mean, I don't know. You played a lot of like Diablo overall, but I might have played more Diablo 4 just in terms of. Well, I don't know. I guess you played like nonstop. So there's so many issues with
every yeah.
I have so
That's
many issues with that game, man. Like the gear is dog shit. And I'm not talking about just like the legendaries that weren't dropping for me. I'm talking the affixes on the gear. Like there's so much fucking dog shit in that game. The affixes, the what the fuck do you call them? It's the
the aspects.
affixes, the aspects, not the aspects, just the random stuff that can generate
Oh, that
on
can roll
the.
on it. Yeah.
it's just there's so many fucking effects in that game that it's like do damage to close enemies, deal damage to far away enemies, deal damage to frozen enemies, deal damage to burning enemies, damage to stunned enemies, damage to fallen enemies, damage to flying enemies, damage to grounded enemies, damage to
Well, that's the
poisoned
thing. You have to
enemies.
like. That's part of the fun, though. It's like getting it
I
right. When you get a gear that like has all the affixes you want, it's
which is
like
never, which is
it
never.
happens. But when it happens, though, it's like it's really good.
There's just so
And
much. There's. I think it's too much, and it doesn't explain fucking any of it. Like there's so many status effects, and like it's not. There's no good way to say, okay, how do I inflict this effect? I think that's one of the things they're like trying to address with all these fucking patches is like vulnerable was the big one where it was like if your build doesn't have vulnerable on it, you're fucked. And like it's like shit like that where I'm like I shouldn't have to rely on like one status effect to have a viable build. I should just be able to just like if I'm playing like a lightning guy, I should be able to just build lightning and fuck things up with lightning if I like spec all my lightning shit in a proper way. Um
it's funny you bring that up because like I don't feel like I need to rely on a status effect. Any status effects I want to rely on like coexist off of each other just due to the nature of the skill tree. Like the build I'm running, this druid, right? It's got all my skills work off of each other. So I have trample, which lets me just fucking rush through enemies like a charging bear. And the aspect I have for it makes it trigger. It makes it an earth skill on top of being a bear skill, and gives me landslides that follow behind me. Now I have another aspect that like anytime I cast landslide, it doubles the landslides that are there, and they increase in damage the more I have, the more I cast. So that works with trample. And then poison creeper, I have an aspect that lets that also cast landslide, and it gives enemies that are poisoned take 30% more earth damage. So that works with like the fucking landslide skill and the trample skill. It's
yeah,
fucking
like
ridiculous, the shit that I'm putting together here.
there
Like
will be skills that like work off of each other, but I never felt that it was I still felt like I wasn't getting the damage output that I should be getting, or even just if it was like a barrier, like even like for defenses, like oh why a barrier is active, this happens, or um like even the stuff that would play into each other, they would play into each other, yeah, but it just wouldn't. It would just be the gain you would get from it would just never be enough.
I think it's just because you and I had very different experiences. Like I'm coming from Diablo
I mean,
3,
I was
so
playing a
I know.
sorcerer, which is
Yeah,
infamously fucking bad, but
it's top tier now. I think it's like
I
top
don't
tier for
know.
this season now. But you've already uninstalled it, so that's not going to change anything for you.
Yeah,
Um,
it's still on my Steam Deck. I almost loaded it up the other day because it is still on my Steam Deck, and I was like, I'll just load this up and to try the latest patch, but then I was like, nah.
nah. I'm into it, and I think it's because of the end game stuff. I like, how can I word it? It's I like doing grim favors and turning them in, getting equipment from that, and using that equipment to help further my build. I like doing the seasonal quests. I like watching the fucking season journey go up as I finish more of these, and I think that's what I like, the end game stuff that lets me, that's kind of lets me not grind, but for lack of a better term, I think, yeah, just grind and get better equipment and clear through dungeons and improve my resources. I think that's what I like about it. And I'm always doing something. Like every time I do a quest, it's giving me experience, which can build into my Paragon level. And I can apply more stuff to the Paragon board. And I'm turning in quests, and they have a chance at dropping loot with every quest I do. And once I do enough of those, I turn them all into the Whispers of the Dead, and I get equipment from them too. Sometimes I'll get obols, and I can turn those into the Purveyor of Curiosities and gamble for some equipment. It's like the game's always pushing me to do something, and I don't feel like I'm wasting time doing it, at least not at this point. I know like at higher levels when my gear starts to get more optimized, and the only thing I could really expect to get is like a piece of gear with like slightly better affixes or slightly higher stats than the affixes. That's when I'm gonna start hitting a wall. But until then, I'm having a blast with it. I think I need to give Path of Exile another shot, but play through the end, because I think from what I've been told, the end game is very similar, but the core game itself is more fun to play.
I think it's more like Diablo 3. I never get to the end game in these games. So, but if I remember Diablo 3, it was like you go into the like rifts or something.
Yeah,
and it's like randomly.
That was my shit. I miss rift running.
Yeah, that's what Path of Exile was like. Except they're maps, and there's a hold on, I need to get like an image for it. There's like they're maps, and you generate the maps, and it's like a whole nother like fucking tree. And you can like generate other stuff on the maps. So like you put on the map what you want on it, and then it's like a dungeon, and you do it. It's like a genius idea, but I've never gotten to it.
See, that sounds fun as fuck. Like I would get into that.
Like, here's a little image of it. It's like a whole nother tree, but each node on there is like you generate the map for that, and you go and like clear it, and then fucking you get stuff.
Like, see, that's what I want to try too. Like that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give it another shot for sure, because like I did like what I was playing, but when it comes to these types of games, it's not the story mode that I want to get through. Like
But I think just the gameplay. I'm just talking about the general gameplay is just significantly more satisfying than Diablo. Just because
I'll give it another shot, man. I'll give it another shot for sure. Like,
I'm not going through this cooldown bullshit and this I have no mana bullshit. It's just so frustrating when I can't get my attacks off because the game just won't let me.
Well, there's always like, that's the thing. Like, there's all kinds of affixes to like. You got me saying it now. There's all kinds of affixes and aspects to help slow that down. Like this build I'm having, like every skill I'm going through has cooldown, but I have like abilities on the board that like reset cooldown on like chances for critical hits, or there's an aspect
but then
that,
it's like the lucky hit shit. It's like a chance of a chance of a chance.
Yeah,
it's never something you can rely on.
Lucky's Fury being this like totally unreliable thing, but I was doing the math on it. A lot of them really good, like lucky hit effects, like are almost 50% to go off every time you attack. There's some that are like really low.
No. It's 50%. So okay, what it tells you in the thing is not. It's not a 50%.
Yeah. No. So let me finish. So each skill has a lucky hit chance, right? So let me give you an example. I'm looking at my skill tree right now. My trample skill has a lucky hit chance of 20%.
Yeah.
Now, if I have another skill that's like, lucky hit, 30% chance to trigger, that's going to be low. That's like, what's 20% of 30? Like, overall, every time I cast Trample, it's a 6% chance of going off. Because you have to have the lucky hit trigger and then the effect trigger. But every single attack has a chance to lucky hit, and it's different. So yeah, that's one example I gave you with Trample. But if you look at like my core skills,
that's not the chance of it to lucky hit. That's the chance that when you get a lucky hit, so your character has a lucky hit stat.
Yeah.
It's a stat on your character.
Yeah.
That's also like a percentage. So it's like that percentage has to hit, and then whatever attack you used, that percentage has to hit, and then
Not always though.
for the sorcerer, it's also you have to critical hit as well. I don't know if it's like most other classes have that too, but at least for the sorcerer, you also have to critical hit, then get the lucky hit, and then it's like that.
So everyone is different, and that's where it gets tricky because each lucky hit. Here's what I hate about the lucky hit stuff, and I will admit it's not clear enough on how the shit works. And there's two triggers, okay, where there's a trigger to lucky hit, and every attack is a different chance. So I gave you the example, trample is a 20% chance. So every time I cause trample, there's a 20% chance that's going to trigger a lucky hit. Now, depending on how many lucky hit effects you have, those are all different. So there are skills that are like, oh god, I'm trying to find one right here, but my build doesn't use too many lucky hits, so
yeah. It could be
so,
you have
example,
a chance of triggering any of those effects can trigger.
Any of them.
Yeah.
And they each roll separately. So it's not like I'm rolling once and then one of these are going to trigger. Like, no, each hit roll. So if I have like Furious Wolf Pack, which is lucky hit, your wolves attack have up to a 40% chance to fortify you for 80% base of life. So every time I trigger a lucky hit, I'm rolling a 1 in 100, 40 in 100 chance of that triggering when I lucky hit. And if I have more lucky hits triggers on top of that, they all get a separate roll. So there's another one that's like, oh, lucky hits have chance to heal you or whatever for a 30% chance. Then when I trigger that lucky hit, I have a 20% chance to trigger it with trample. And then each of those have a chance of triggering too, and they each roll separately. So that's where it gets tricky, and each skill is different, so you can really manipulate it to go off more than it should. There are some that are super specific. It's like, oh, you have to lucky hit with this move and get a crit for this chance to go off. Those suck. I don't know why that's a fucking thing, because the chance of critting and lucky hitting at the same time are ridiculously low. I don't know why that exists.
That's why when I if you build a lightning sorcerer, lightning focuses on critical damage. So lightning has an extremely high chance of critical hitting. So that's why when I built my character, I was like, oh shit, yeah, here's where we're gonna go. Critical, lucky hit. And even then, it's still not, it's like completely unreliable. There's just so many conditionals.
There's those conditional ones that are tricky. Like there's one, the Necromancer is super cool because it's not conditional. It's like anytime you trigger damage, there's a lucky hit chance to spawn a corpse. So every time I attack, there's a chance to lucky hit, and that lucky hit has a chance to trigger a corpse. And that's where it gets tricky, is knowing those triggers. And there are some that are like strict as fuck. Like, I haven't played the Sorcerer, but if there's like, oh, every time you crit, lucky hit chance to do this, like that sucks. Like if that's what's going on,
it's not even every time you crit. It's if you crit, there's a 12%. First of all, it's because you have a chance to crit too. So
you get the chance to crit, the chance to lucky hit, and then roll that specific effect. Yeah, like that fucking sucks. Like I'll give you that. Like if those are the conditions you're playing on, it's just with the sorcerer, there's so many chances for multiple hits because lightning damage does you chain lightning, and also it hits multiple times. So it hits multiple enemies and it hits multiple times each enemy. So there's like you would think there's plenty of opportunity to get so many of these effects on just like one enemy, even because you could hit like one enemy up to like 5 times with one attack. But even then, it's still is completely unreliable. Now I haven't played the latest update, so where they supposedly fix a lot of the sorcerer shit. But yeah, it was just like. It was stuff like that. The stuff that I wanted to rely on, like the cooldown resets, because the sorcerer has that too, and like fucking, they have so many cooldown abilities that you have to rely on, like the barriers, and the shields, and like the lightning tendrils. Like so many of these are like keystone abilities for the sorcerer,
and they're just always on fucking cooldown. And it
Yeah.
fucking sucks. Whereas in Path of
I'm gonna
Exile,
play through a sorcerer after this character and like give it a shot because like I want to see like what the issue is, if there really is that big of an issue. Maybe it's been fixed since like you played it, but if you're already out of the game, you're out of the game. And nothing I say is gonna like change that. But I'm having fun with it, and I think it's because again, I played Path of Exile that one time. I liked it, but I wasn't scratching that itch like Diablo was scratching. But like I said, I didn't get to the end game on that. So I'm sure, like, from what you're describing, that shit sounds fun as fuck. So maybe I just got to give that a shot, like, really beat the game. Maybe after the season, when I'm done with the season, I'll give it another chance. But I will admit, Path of Exile 2 looks fucking incredible. Like, that demonstration looked fucking awesome.
yeah,
And showing off the monk and seeing, I love seeing stuff synergize. Like that's my favorite thing about these types of games, with stuff synergizing together. It's like, oh, this skill improves my next ice attack, and my next ice attack is another skill that like will cool down the first one or something. Stuff like that. I love seeing shit like that, and just watching stuff synergize and have it just cause insanity. And they're showing that off in spades with that Path of Exile 2 demonstration. So I'm definitely going to play that when that comes out. That looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. It might get me to uninstall Diablo 4, if I'm being totally honest. If the stuff they're promising has a good end game to back it up, that will be my forever game. But yeah, I'm still playing that. I'm playing it right now, like as we're talking. Like I said, I like this game. I like it a lot. The season is very stingy. I'll be honest. The fucking seasonal bonuses, the stuff I get for going seasonal progression is so stingy and shitty. And if you're not putting money in the season, it's like I might as well not even be playing through it because the stuff it gives me is so like mediocre. Whereas the seasonal content was all free in Diablo 3. Like you got all these cool cosmetics, these cool upgrades, wings or like a flag or something, and that was all from just like playing the season. Like the only condition was that you had to finish the season to get all the really good shit. But with this, I'm looking at the seasonal progression. Even if I finish it, I'm getting some like mediocre fucking cosmetics, no emotes.
I don't want
really
any of that
shitty.
shit in a Diablo game.
Yeah.
There's zero reason for a cosmetic item in a Diablo game.
So with Diablo 3, the cosmetics were like exclusive items. So things like an exclusive pet or exclusive wing set or an exclusive flag that says like I finished the season. Like that's what you were really fighting for in Diablo 3. Also, the season would change some pretty cool shit and give you some pretty cool things at the end. Like seasons were also kind of an excuse to like test drive some new armor sets or some new abilities. They were giving some of the classes, so there was a lot of fun there. But with this, the cosmetics are cool, but it's not as cool as like getting an exclusive pet in Diablo 3 or something like that, you know. And I'm gonna be honest, a lot of even the paid aesthetics that you need to unlock for the season don't match with your character. Like this fucking a lot of these like full armor plates are like, okay, you want my druid to walk around with a full set of armor like that? Same as a barbarian, same as a necromancer. A fucking rogue is gonna wear a full set of plate armor. Are you serious? Like, at least like change it to make it match the fucking class you're playing. Like, it's really lazy to me. Like that's the beef I have with it. And I gotta pay for that shit. I'm not gonna drop $10 for the season for some mediocre cosmetics.
I just don't care about cosmetics, period, in an isometric, zoomed out game where I can barely even see my character. Mania Sonic Fire in the chat.
Yo, what up?
First.
But yeah, like that's. I will admit this season's very underwhelming. The stuff that's in here is cool. Like I like the malignant hearts. I like that stuff.
Yeah.
I like the way that changes the way the game's played, but the actual seasonal progression stuff isn't cool enough to justify it. And again, a lot of the really exclusive, like emotes and stuff, they're all locked up behind a fucking paywall. And I go through the seasonal progression. I'm like, what am I getting here? I'm getting some very mediocre cosmetics and like the artisan stuff, but those are kind of boring compared to some of the other stuff that's here. And again, none of it matches like your character class, but whatever. Um, yeah, that's my beef with it.
Yeah,
I
I
also started
think you.
playing. Yeah, I think I hit the nail on the head here. I went on a lot
Well,
longer than I
I
wanted
think
to.
you're. I think you're a little attached to Diablo. I think
I'm probably
you've got
most
the.
likely,
You've got the. You've got the. You can't see past it, man.
maybe, most likely.
It
Which
does.
I played other RPGs. Like I played Grim Dawn. I fucking love Grim Dawn. And
They're teasing some new shit. There's teasing
yeah,
something big. I don't know what it is,
yeah,
but
yeah. Um, Path of Exile 2 looks incredible. Like I'm gonna play that when it comes out.
there's
But
another one called Last Epoch, which is not free. I think it's like $15 or something. But that one is also incredible.
yeah,
So
yeah. I played Wolken. That one's fun.
it doesn't have
Um,
controllers. It has controller support, but it's bad. So
yeah, you're
I don't want
telling
to. I
me.
don't want to play any of these games without controller anymore.
Yeah,
I've come to
I can.
realize.
I prefer a mouse and keyboard for these types of games, but I can play either way. But yeah, I think that's right. It's got to move past Diablo because I do like it, but I am kind of blinded by it. This is what I know. So, um, I'll give some other stuff a shot. Like when I'm done with the season here, I'll definitely give Path of Exile another try and play with that some more. I'm also playing some older games. I just bought Soul Calibur 6 on Xbox, and I got
Yeah.
all the DLC for it. That's a lot of fun. It's a fun 3D fighter. Um,
Was that on sale during Evo? Because
I think
I got a
so. I
bunch
think
of
it was during
fighting
the Evo
games.
sale. Yeah. So I picked that up. The character customization is so much fun. Like the character creation is really cool. There's a lot less stuff in it than I remember. I remember having a lot more options when the game came out. I think I'm just tripping, but or maybe like other games like Saints Row has like some fucking crazy character customization and stuff you can choose from. I think those other games like spoiled me a bit, but it's still a lot of fun. Um, I'm also playing Chrono Trigger DS, which I bought this game like years ago and I like it, but my problem with RPGs is if I play anything else outside that RPG, I'm gonna drop it. I can get like 20 hours into it, 30 hours into it. If I don't finish it, I play something else, come back to it. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? And I reset it. I've
Yeah.
restarted Chrono Trigger so many times. It's not a long game. Like you can beat it in like 16 hours, I think. Um, but I played the opening of that game so many goddamn times, and I'm telling myself I'm gonna finish it this time. Like this is gonna be the time I finish it. Um, it's a cool game. Like it's really cool. It does a lot of really cool stuff that older RPGs don't do. It's not too grind heavy, which I like a lot. The skills are all very interesting. I like the way the characters play off of each other. The story's really good. There's a lot of really cool meta stuff that the game does that a lot of RPGs haven't done since then. The game remembers choices you make, so like little things that are like normal RPG practice that kind of make you an asshole. Like characters call you out on it. There's a part very early in the game I don't want to spoil where characters will call out your asshole behavior and it can get you in trouble. Um, it's a cool game, and I know how incredible it is. I just gotta fucking sit down and finish it, and not get distracted by other shit. Um,
Yeah.
and it's on DS, and the DS port's fucking incredible. Like it's really good. It has all the anime cutscenes from the PS1 version of the game without the fucking garbage load time. It has some extra content that wasn't in the original SNES and PS1 release of the game. And all that content is exclusive to this version, so that's cool as fuck. Um, I don't know how much that game costs now on DS. It's probably way too expensive. I got it for $20 at GameStop years ago. And how much is it now? Hold on, I gotta see.
Is that game not on the Nintendo Classic emulation thing?
It's not, but the DS version specifically is like its own separate thing.
Yeah.
Like it's a separate game. It has its own exclusive features that aren't on other versions. I'm finding different prices here. I'm seeing like copies of with a box for like $50, but I'm also seeing loose cartridges for like $100 something. So I don't know how legit these prices are, but I wouldn't pay more than $20 for it. It's a good game, but don't give these like resellers all this money for it. Like pirate it if you have to. Don't pay more than $20 for it. Um, for Yeah, there's all kinds of fucking different prices here. I don't know which one's legit. But it's still a fun game. I'm dedicated to finishing it this time for sure. Um, we've been talking for an hour. We still have a whole like showcase to go over.
Oh God.
Yeah, I know. THQ Nordic just had their digital showcase, and they talked about a ton of stuff. How much of this do you want to go over? Like, do you want to talk about everything, or
we won't have to talk about everything because not all of it was relevant to anything.
Yeah.
I will say they started with this little pre-show.
Yeah, which was weird. Like 20 minutes before the show actually started.
But the first
like 20 minute like previews.
The first game they showed of that was a game called Perish, which I've never heard of.
Same.
But it looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks cool as fuck.
I was like, what the hell is this? Yeah, it looks like it looks like a mix between Destiny and Serious Sam almost is the vibe I got from it.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And yeah, I went over there and I looked at the page and threw it in my wish list. I might just buy it now and just check it out. But it looks awesome.
Yeah, it does. It looks cool as hell. Like,
and it's already been out. It's been out since like January, but they just came out with an expansion, a free expansion. So
yeah, it's been out for a hot minute and it looks incredible. That one's definitely on my list. I want to check that out. I guess some Titan Quest DLC is coming to mobile. I didn't even know Titan Quest was on mobile.
Yeah.
That's cool. I played a little bit of Titan Quest. I liked it, but I only played so I got it on Switch, and I guess the console versions are really weird because the game auto attacks. So you're not like your basic attack, you're not pushing a button to do it. The game does it for you.
Oh.
The only buttons you're pushing are to use like your skills, like the stuff on your hotbar. I don't know if all console versions of the game do that, if it's just a Switch version, but that's the one I played.
It's crazy to me that you're playing so many games on different platforms.
Yeah.
Because I'm not juggling platforms anymore, dude. If it's not on PC, I'm not playing it.
So I got it on Switch like forever ago because like I wanted a ARPG I can play on Switch that I can play on the go.
Diablo's on Switch.
It is, but I had Diablo on PC and the content doesn't carry over. So my logic was I'm going to play something different. Yeah, like my PC's for Diablo and I'm going to use Switch for something else. And I was looking at different ARPGs that are on there. Torchlight was on there. Torchlight's pretty good, but I heard Titan Quest was like incredible. And I was playing Grim Dawn, and Grim Dawn is a lot of the stuff in Grim Dawn was stolen from Titan Quest. Like the multi-classing, the way gear is set up and spotting gems to gear, like a lot of stuff that's in Grim Dawn was in Titan Quest first. And I'm like, okay, cool, give it a shot. I like Grim Dawn. And Titan Quest is pretty fun. It's unforgiving in the terms of like, it's really easy to build your character the wrong way and fuck yourself. So be careful with that. It's very old school, so you are slotting points into stats, which can get annoying. But it's still a fun game, and it's still going strong. Like the Switch version is the most outdated version of the game because every other version of it, especially the PC version, is still getting expansions. So that's a game you can play for a very long time. I didn't even know it was on mobile. Looks like it's getting some more DLC, so that'll be cool to check out once that comes out. Lethal Honor looked really cool. It's like a hand-drawn roguelike with like a comic book art style. I like that a lot. Alone in the Dark, they kept having these weird previews for Alone in the Dark.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
did you watch those? There's like I think those were actual actors, right? Like big name actors, like having a monologue.
If they were, I don't know who they were.
I think that one guy in the vest was from Stranger Things, but I might be wrong. What's his name? David Harbour.
Okay.
Was that him? I didn't look this up at all. It might not even be him. Let me see. Yeah,
Which,
that was him. That was
okay.
him. Oh, he's Edward Carnby. He's like the main dude from Alone in the Dark.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
I think they have a
I
little
still,
preview demo on Steam right now. I didn't check it out, but I don't know. I'm not a big. Is it? Do we know what shape or form this game is taking?
no fucking clue.
Okay.
It's a remake of the first Alone in the Dark, so
Oh,
it's
is
not
it?
like yeah, so it's not like it's not a new game in the series. It's a remake of it.
Okay.
Which, if you remember, there was like a lot of I think there's a couple remakes of it or games attempting to be that first game. And I don't know how this game's gonna play. It's definitely leaning on like the Lovecraft stuff. I think it's like a third person over the shoulder type of game. But I don't know what's gonna focus on. It's gonna focus more on the puzzle aspect of it, or is it gonna focus more on the action side of it, mix of both? Um, I don't know what it's gonna focus on. Graphically, the game looks really impressive, like from those models that we were seeing there.
Yeah, I thought they were okay.
No.
not
So
not
we'll
blown
see.
away.
Not blown away, but it's serviceable. Like it's clean. It looks good. I know what the characters look like. Um, let me see. So we'll have to see when that comes out, like what that's gonna be. They're hyping it up a bit, so if this game sucks, it's gonna be really embarrassing. Um, which Alone in the Dark has a track record of like not great games. um, the South Park game, Snow Day, got an announcement. I still don't know what the fuck this game is. I think it's a MOBA, but I'm not
It,
entirely sure.
it looks like a MOBA or a battle royale. I
Yeah,
can't tell, but they said co-op in the thing, so I was like,
yeah,
okay. I mean,
yeah.
a battle royale could be seen as a co-op game, I suppose, if you think about it. Um, full 3D on this one. That's a bold move.
Yeah, especially since like, we had great 2D games and
Terrible
people
3D
like them.
games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And so we'll see what happens with this, but I'm not excited for it. I was really excited because the first time I heard about it, um, a notification popped up from Twitter, and it was IGN was like, "Oh, take out a look at the new South Park game, South Park Snow Day," and I was like, "Oh, sweet, a new South Park game." And instantly deflated when I saw the 3D art style.
Yeah.
Like instantly, I was a lot less excited. And we'll see what this comes out to, but I'm not gonna hold my breath. It's gonna be anything like good. I don't think it's gonna be anything as fun as like the Stick of Truth game or Fractured But Whole.
Yeah. I mean,
And
I'm glad they're
yeah,
doing something different because they've done those games. I feel like if they just did another one of those, it would just be not. We'd be bored of it already.
maybe, maybe, but we'll see. The fact that it's like a multiplayer game and it looks like a MOBA or some sort of like battle royale game kind of upsets me. That's not what I want.
Yeah, it reminded me of Fat Princess. Remember Fat Princess?
I never played it, but I've seen it. Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of, but it was like capture the flag, but the flag was another
Fat
human.
Princess.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see when it comes out, man. Like if we get more details on it. They showed very little of it off. A lot of these games had very little shown off. Except for Outcast, that had a lot shown off. It looks dope as
Yeah.
fuck. You said it looks like Dark Void mixed with No Man's Sky, and yeah, I agree. Um,
Yeah.
it looks like a lot of
Outcast.
fun.
They people say Outcast is like the original open world game. It like pioneered the open world shit, which maybe I never played
I never played it.
the old
Yeah,
games, so But it looks really cool though. It looks cool as
Yeah,
shit.
this one looks cool as shit. It does look cool as shit, and I really, really want to pick it up. Um, any game with a jetpack is like exciting to me. Like we need more jetpacks in games. Jetpacks are cool. Um, what else we got here? Recreation looks
Yeah.
fucking fun as fuck.
Yeah.
You said it's like Trackmania went full Little Big Planet, and I agree. This looks fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah. And these are the Burnout guys, the original
Yeah,
Burnout guys. So they've been making these games where it's like almost like tech demos, like they did like Dangerous Golf, and they did a couple of these games where it's just like, hey, we just are trying stuff out, see this like destruction engine we're building, and I guess all of that was leading up to this. Um, and what I what I want to see out of this is like go full kart racer and just like add some power ups. You know what I'm saying? Something to
yeah,
blow, like attack other enemy or drivers with.
I
Because
agree.
right now all they showed was just building and driving. They haven't shown. I want to see a missile pickup and I can attack other drivers. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
But this looks
This
cool.
looks cool.
It looks like you can
Yeah,
drive and build at the same time,
yeah,
like almost like Mario Maker, Little Big Planet type shit. So
yeah. This looks good. I'm not a big fan of racers, but I think it's because I like more like arcadey, like crazy cartoony racers. So
yeah,
this looks like it's doing that. So bring it on. Like I'm gonna try it out for sure. THQ is super underrated. They got some garbage, but like the stuff they make that looks cool is like really, really cool.
yeah,
And yeah, so I can't wait to see Recreation come out. They also talked about Titan Quest 2, which like
yep,
fuck, I didn't see that coming. They're
yep.
gonna milk Titan Quest for as long as they could. But no, Titan Quest 2 is a thing, and it's happening. We got zero look at it, so I have no idea what the fuck the game's gonna look like or play like. It's gonna adhere more to the old school sensibilities from the first game, or they're gonna have some more modern stuff if we're seeing a Path of Exile or Diablo. Or it could just not be an isometric RPG. It could just be something totally different. I doubt they would do that because of how popular RPGs now. They're
Yeah. Well,
popular
they
again.
already said it's like it is that
An
game.
isometric. Okay.
They said it's still gonna have multi-classing. Um,
Yes.
yeah, they said a little bit about it already. It is like it is ARPG season, man. Like we are eating
Yeah, dude, we're
well.
doing great, dude. I love it. I love it. There's too many RPGs to count. Like, there's too many
Yeah.
out there. I keep playing Diablo because I suck, but there's a lot to choose from out there. And I'm cool with it, Doug. I actually downloaded Path of Exile on my Xbox. I was gonna play it again on my Xbox,
Oh yeah.
but but Xbox and Steam don't have cross-platform play or cross
Oh
support.
yeah, yeah,
So I didn't do it. I was like, well, if I'm gonna play it, I want it so I can go back and
yeah.
forth
I mean,
on. So
I played a bunch on my PS4, and yeah, it doesn't carry over, but I mean, it's a good way to play it. I mean, it was before they added controller support to the PC. I think PC is now just the best way to play. You should get a not necessarily a Steam Deck, but just something
one of those, like,
handheld
yeah,
PC.
I want one. I want one really bad, but I got a baby and a house to pay for.
Yeah.
So, so if anyone wants to like get me one, donate to the show. That'd be cool as fuck. It's never gonna happen, but it'd be cool. Or if one of those like big companies want to sponsor us, that'd be cool too. Talk about your product on the show. I am,
GPD.
yep, I am for sale. I will say and do anything if you give me enough money.
I love the GPD devices. They've been doing it
Yeah,
for a very long time, and they know how to do it. So
yeah, that's on my wish list. I'm definitely gonna pick one up eventually. I decided I'm not gonna get a PS5. Um, if I spend any money, it's gonna be to either upgrade my PC or to get one of those like handheld Steam devices or something to
yeah,
play my PC games on the go. That's what I want. I want to play my PC games on the go
Yeah.
or hook it up. One thing I like with the Steam Deck is that it's got a docking system to hook it up to my TV so I can play like at home
Yeah. Yeah.
on my TV. So if I'm trying to like, I can't hole away in my office when I have a baby. So as much as I'd like to,
Yeah.
I have a baby. I can't just hang out in my office and play Diablo when I'm watching a baby. But I can, like, hang out. He can be in his playpen. I can be next to him. I can be in the living room on my couch watching him while I have a game running. Something not too intensive. I can do that, and that's kind of what I want one of those devices for, to do that. But yeah, it's on my list for sure. Yeah, Titan Quest 2. It's happening. I don't know how it's going to play. It's definitely going to be an isometric RPG, but again, we have so many of those out now. What's it going to do to stand out? Grim Dawn was considered the spiritual successor to Titan Quest, so what's Titan Quest 2 going to do that Grim Dawn hasn't already done? We'll have to wait and see when it comes out, man. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see it happen. We also got Last Train Home, an RTS, the train sim. This game actually looked pretty cool. I like that trailer. I'm not a big sim guy, especially like a train sim, but I like the mix of like RTS gameplay with it. It kind of reminds me of XCOM, but on a train, and I'm cool with it.
XCOM on a train. Yeah.
Yeah, because XCOM had that like base management stuff. Remember, like you had
Yeah.
like,
But it was
but it
more.
wasn't
It
the
was
same extent.
more
Yeah,
disconnected from the actual like
yeah,
real
yeah. It
gameplay.
was, yeah, it was like Mother Base from fucking Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
It's a cool thing to have. Like you see it building, but it's not. You're not responsible for it the same way you are responsible for it in this train game, The Last Train Home, because you're actively managing resources. You're keeping your people happy. So that's a cool combination of things I think could work pretty well. We'll see when it comes out. See what the consensus is for it. We also got Trine 5. That fucking video, that fucking trailer, the acting was so bad.
Yeah. It
It's
sure
like, what the
was.
fuck were they thinking? Like, but the game looked cool. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Trine's a fucking cool series of games, man. Like, they're good.
I didn't know they were already on 5.
I didn't either. I had no fucking idea they're already on 5. And there were 4 people playing. Last time I played Trine, it was only like a 3-player game. There were only 3 characters. So how long have they had 4 characters? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks cool. As fucking like unimpressive as the fucking acting was in that whole trailer, the game looked cool. And I want to check it out. I want to go back and play the Trine games because they're cool, but I know I'm never going to have time to do that. But I want to. I really want to.
Yeah, I think I have them all. I've never played them.
They're good ass games, dude. They're fun. We'll get together when I play through them. I've only played Trine 2, I think. Whatever was the first one on Wii U. That was the one I played. I got it on sale with my brothers. We had a good time with it. Space for Sale. It's like Grounded, but on an alien world. Looks cool as fuck. I really liked what I was seeing with that. And Way of the Hunter. I don't know what this game is. You said DLC. Can you elaborate on that?
No.
No.
I think this game's already out, and I don't know what they're showing here. I don't know anything about this game. Maybe it's like some Africa DLC, I guess. What it look like? You can hunt big game hunting, like lions and shit. Buffalo.
Controversial opinion here.
Yeah.
I think hunting is kind of a bitch ass sport for people who want to feel like big people.
Oh no, it is. It definitely is.
Yeah, I 110%. Like people think I'm so badass I took down this like elephant. Like, yeah, but you have like an armored car, follow it around. You pick the smallest one out of the group.
Yeah. No, if you're not if you're not hunting for food, you're doing it wrong.
I saw this video like years ago where this girl she hunts like wolves for a living because I guess she lives in like Africa, not Africa, fucking Alaska. and I guess they have like a bounty on like wolves during a certain season because they fuck up people, they fuck up livestock and stuff. So like the county will pay you like to kill wolves if you bring in like wolf heads or pelts or something. I can't remember what it is.
That's like
But she's talking. Yeah, it's like it's crazy.
some
but,
Witcher shit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Already got a wolf problem.
Basically, yeah. And that's what she does for a living. Like every season she like does it. And she's like talking it up. She's like, yeah, it's like it's a really dangerous job. You know, wolves could run at like fucking X amount miles per hour, so you can't outrun them. Their teeth are as sharp as knives and as long as like screwdrivers and blah blah blah. They could kill you and then you wouldn't even hear them coming. And she's going on and on with this biology lesson about how dangerous wolves are. And I'm like, okay, so how do you hunt them? And she sits like a mile away, literally a mile away, with a high-powered sniper rifle, sets down bait in the middle of like a fucking snowy field, and waits for them to come by and picks them off. I'm like, that's not you. I respect the hustle. It looks like it's easy money, but don't act like it's this like fucking dangerous thing when you are in absolutely no danger. But whatever.
What's the Liam Neeson wolf movie? The Gray.
Oh yeah, when he like fist fights a wolf with like yeah, like do that shit. Then I don't think it's impressive, but don't sit here and act like you're in this like really dangerous job. I'm sure it can be dangerous. You don't know what you're doing. You don't have a sniper rifle, but yeah, I get the same vibe from like when I see people posing with like a lion. It's like, dude, it's kind of unfair how you took out that line. Let's be honest here. Like,
yeah,
take it out the bow and arrow, then we'll like talk. Like that's cool. If someone shows me like a picture of a lion they hunted, and there's like a bow and arrow in its heart, there's like a bow in its heart. It's like, okay, that's impressive. Like, you must have a huge wiener because you did that. Like that. Then I'll acknowledge like your manliness. But other than that, like, no.
Well, you know, it's like warfare in general has evolved to the point where it's just like, you know, you just fly overhead and just drop a bomb and then fly away.
Right.
Like it's very like combat in general is very no longer as personal as it used to be. You know, no one's like whipping out swords anymore, and it's like you must battle.
You're not wrong, but like they still have this attitude, like they're this badass warrior, even though it's like, dude, you flew a drone.
Yeah.
Like, chill out. Actually, I don't know anyone who flies drones who thinks that. Like, anyone who flies drones, like, tell us in the comments you've flown drones in the military. You don't have to talk about like any classified stuff, but like what's the consensus? Are you guys just like, oh, it's a job, or like what's the consensus there with that? Moving on. We talked a lot. None of it was about this game. Fucking moving on. We got Tempest Rising. You said it's a Command and Conquer mix of StarCraft. I can see that.
Yeah, seems pretty cool. I'm not really into RTSs.
Same.
But this one looks alright.
Yeah. Looks cool. Gothic 1 is getting a remake. You said you don't know shit about Gothic. I don't know shit about Gothic. So
okay, well, I didn't even know it was Gothic. They didn't even put the text. I was like, okay, what the fuck is this logo? And I had to look it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Okay, if you're a Gothic fan, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
a Gothic is not a popular enough franchise. You can just drop the logo, people get excited. You know, like, let's be honest here. I know what the fuck I was looking at.
Yeah.
It's not Call of Duty. It's not Halo. It's none of those games. It's not popular enough. You can just put a logo up and people get excited.
You know, someone's out there, like, as soon as the trailer started and they heard the first 3 notes of this trailer, they were like, oh shit. Like, someone's out there that did that. And I was watching this the whole time. I was like, what the fuck is this? This is trash.
Yeah. I was like, what is going on garbage here? But the cinematic look was kind of funny. Like, the dude was like kind of an asshole. It was kind of funny, but I was like, what the fuck am I looking at? Like, this is like, I had no idea. It's not like recognizable enough to like be obvious of what it is. Like,
yeah,
Fable. Fable could have had that trailer,
Yeah.
and I would have instantly been able to tell it was Fable because Fable's a popular franchise. It has a very specific like style to it. Like I would have that would have worked for something more popular, but it's Gothic. Like let's be honest here. If you like Gothic, I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. It's not a popular game. I'm sorry. It's a cult hit. It's a cult classic. People who like it love it, but it's not like this big name. You can just have a trailer, not show the name off, and just have like a logo and expect people to be like, oh, they'll get it. The fans will get it. What fans? What fans? But no, jokes aside, like it must be very exciting for all you Gothic fans out there, all two of you. I'm sounding mean today. I'm really mean today. I know. There's someone who's really excited for it. If there's anyone who is a fan of Gothic, like tell us about it in the comments, man. Because I don't know like when to start it. Should I start Gothic now or wait till the remake? Like tell us in the comments. What's the best version of the Gothic to play? Like tell us in the comments. If you're a Gothic fan, tell us like how you felt with this trailer. Were you instantly like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, like it's happening? Like, tell us in the comments. Also, the very last thing they showed off, which they didn't show off anything, but I'm still excited for it.
Yeah.
Is they announced that they are working with consultation, I think from I have to watch that trailer again, but I think they said they're working with Image Comics, but I might be making that up.
Yeah, they listed off some names here.
Yeah, to produce a Last Ronin game. Now, those of you who don't know, Last Ronin was a short miniseries of comics based around the Ninja Turtles. So all the Ninja Turtles were killed except for one remaining turtle, and he goes on his quest for revenge using all of his brother's weapons. I'm not gonna tell you which turtle because it's kind of a twist on which turtle it is. That's part of the appeal. It's like, oh, which is the last surviving turtle to make it. But if you want to talk about if you're a Ninja Turtle fan and you want to talk about like, what's the most dramatic option to choose for it, it's that one. But it's a cool comic series. I haven't read it. My brother read it. He said it's really good, and I want to check it out. I was waiting until it was finished before I checked it out. It is done now, so I might check it out soon. But the fact that we're getting a game based off of it is really, really cool. I think Ninja Turtles are a really cool franchise. I want to see more cool Ninja Turtle games that are like on par with what we're seeing here through the AAA space. THQ is more of a AA publisher, but whatever. I'll take what I can get.
Yeah, but this game they might give this all the budget they can.
Yeah. It was weird seeing Nickelodeon's logo on it, but I forgot they own Ninja Turtles. So the lightsaber Ninja Turtles is weird. I think like the original writer, what's his fucking name? One of them still owns Ninja Turtles in the comic book space. Peter Laird, I think he's the one who still owns it. Yeah, Peter Laird still owns the comic book space, I think, for Ninja Turtles. But then Nickelodeon owns like everything else, like the video games, movies, TV shows. Like they own all of that. So seeing their name on this dark gritty game is kind of interesting to see that. It was the only piece of color in the entire black and white trailer, so that was really weird. But we'll see when it comes out, man, what that looks like. I'm excited for it. I'm really excited for it. Even though they've shown off literally nothing, I'm still excited for it. Moving on to quickies. Microsoft begins selling Xbox controller replacement parts, including Elite stuff. So you can check that out on Microsoft.com. You can actually buy repair parts. There's instructions on how to put stuff together.
This is
really
great.
Neat. Yeah, it's great.
It's awesome.
It's great. It's awesome. I love seeing it.
The not awesome part is the price. I mean, might as well buy a new controller with how much a
PCBA Xbox Wireless Elite PCBA board is like $50.
Yeah.
But that's for an Elite controller. So, Elite controller is like what, like 100 something? So
like 150, I think.
Yeah, and what the fuck is you to control? You got to replace the PCBA. Like, I don't know, but also like there's the parts are here. Like this could be a cool shot in the arm for the modding scene too. I think like
Yeah, I figured that they were doing this because the Hall effect I'm not. I was thinking about buying a Dual Sense Edge controller because I prefer the PlayStation layout of a controller,
Yeah,
especially when I'm playing games like DJ Max, which
yeah,
are traditionally PlayStation based games. I'm just used to that layout. So I was like, man, I should buy a DualSense Edge, but
yeah,
I'm not buying a premium controller that does not have Hall effect joysticks.
yeah,
I'm just not doing it.
yeah.
So I figured they were doing this. Xbox was doing this so they could announce like replacement parts, so they would make their own Hall effect joysticks, and you can just slot it in. Because I
Maybe
figured that
that might be coming
it
later.
would be their
Might be
next
coming later.
move. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, but this is great because I need a new faceplate for my controller. Because
see,
like the grip is coming off, like it does that thing, like
yeah.
the grip kind of peels. I never had any other issues. Actually, my bumper is starting to jam. Um, so it's just
See,
good
there
that
you go.
they're
This is cool. Like,
yeah,
and again, like this would be cool for the modding scene too, because they can have access to like official Xbox board, like Xbox controller boards and
yeah,
buttons and switches and motors and all kinds of stuff. So that would be cool to see, man. To actually have official like Xbox parts to work with. Um, and the replacement cases and stuff. I'm sure like the mod scene can have like a field day with those. We'll see what happens, man. But it's cool to see it happening. Again, there's also written and video instructions to swap this shit out. So if you're a first timer and you're worried about fucking your shit up, there's instructions there to do it. That's neat. If only Nintendo can get on board with that, with their Joy Cons or whatever.
never.
Um, yeah, I had to fix my own Joy Con. That was a pain in the ass. Um, Red Dead Redemption is coming August 17th to Switch and PS4, and it costs $50. Jesus Christ. Um,
And it's a straight port.
yeah,
No
straight port.
updates. 30
Mhm.
FPS. Um, but it comes with Undead Nightmare, so there's that.
I think
I'm
like trying to see something because I think like the Series X version has like an improvement.
Yeah, it does all the improvements you get from running those like backwards compatible games. It does like the HDR and the
Yeah,
upscaling to 4K. So
I don't
that
know if it has 60 FPS, but
I don't think it's 60, but um it might be just like it might like some of the games I think run unlocked. So there's like a side effect. It just runs like at 60 or like or higher. Um this is a bummer.
yeah, it is.
This is a bummer. Like, can we not get a PC version? What is happening here at Rockstar that we can't get a PC version of this game? Now it seems like probably the best version on PC is going to be an emulated Switch version, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Um,
Especially since like yeah, I'm looking it up. Apparently, like the game still runs at 30 on Xbox, but it does have those like enhancements to it.
yeah,
Higher resolution. Don't fix the frame rate. The frame rate was the most annoying thing on Red Dead Redemption, dude. Oh wait, hold on. Oh, thanks, emulation. Okay, I'm trying to find it here. Oh, never mind. I guess. Hold on. What is Xenia?
Xena is an Xbox emulator.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah,
I guess it does run at 60 FPS if you run a Xenia, but it doesn't run natively on
yeah.
like an Xbox Series X.
Emulators can like unlock the shit. The same thing with like the Switch emulators. That's why it'd probably be best to run this on a Switch emulator because they hack the frame rate. They do the same thing with like the Zelda games on Switch. where they've got it running at 4K. They replace the textures, so they like update all the textures.
Yeah.
So like it's like ironically, the best way to play those games is to emulate them on PC. Yeah, great game, but
Apparently, Red Dead 2 got a 60 FPS update for Xbox Series X, but not the first one. It's so weird. Oh, whatever.
yeah, I don't know. Current Rockstar is just not the same,
Fuck.
man. It's
I don't
not the
give a
same.
fuck. Ah, it's so annoying. But yeah, I put a little link in there. So if you have an Xbox, any future Xbox model after 360, it's backwards compatible with Red Dead Redemption, and it has some enhancements to it. And you can buy a physical copy of the game brand new on Amazon for like $30. So 40% less than what Rockstar's trying to charge for their version. So go to town on that. You can get a used copy of that same game for $10 at GameStop. So, but it's like $15 in shipping. So you might as well just buy it brand new. So go check that out because Rockstar is not going to do it. In other news, Rockstar buys CFX RE. It's so they're a role playing group, right? I think is the term for them,
They
or role play community.
they make FiveM. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the FiveM guys. They're the reason why people still play GTA Online, basically. This is fucking huge, man.
Yeah. Because they were kind of like they had their own, how can I word it? It's a multiplayer mod that lets you customize your experience and has some dedicated servers for GTA 5. And for a while, Rockstar has kind of ignored it, right? Like they never really acknowledged it.
Well,
It's like a
they
thing.
sent them a cease and desist.
Yeah.
They actually tried to shut them down like a couple times. But you know, you can't really shut down fucking mods. Like I think they did come to an agreement where it was like single player only mods, so they found a way to do it around that, I think. You know, because they also tried to shut down mods too. They tried to shut down
Yeah, just in
the
general.
open IV
Yeah.
modding tools, but yeah, they came to an agreement with all that stuff that it would be single player only, and then it would shut down once you enter the online shit. So
Yeah.
that was the loophole.
Yeah. But
But
now they're teaming up with them. They bought them out.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, not teaming up. They bought them, which
yeah.
means which means, well, the implications of that are that maybe they would integrate this shit into their own GTA Online shit.
Yeah.
Is
I guess now this mod is no longer a third party mod. Now it's like official content. Now it's Rockstar content, basically.
yeah,
So hopefully, like you said, this gets added on to maybe console versions of the game or in a more official capacity. You can launch this stuff like from the Rockstar launcher. Um, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with it. It's
yeah.
still too early to tell where this will go, but potential is like limitless there for
This
it.
is why I have zero faith that GTA 6 will be a good game.
Yeah.
I'm calling it. I'm calling it now. It is going to be the next dumpster fire. It's going to be the
Yeah.
next No Man's Sky. It'll be the next Cyberpunk.
Yeah, you think so?
Oh, I'm so positive, dude. I'm so
Yeah.
positive. Now,
We'll see when it comes out. Like
that's not to
Rockstar is,
say it will make a ton of money. It will break sales records. Don't get me wrong.
when you say it's gonna be the next No Man's Sky, you think it's gonna like overpromise, underdeliver, or is it gonna be like a buggy, unplayable mess? Like
Both.
what are your specifics?
Both. Both.
Do you think it's gonna have less content than like previous GTA games? It's gonna be a buggy mess at the same time. Like that's your take where it's gonna go?
Yes. Yes. However,
I
it'll
think
it'll
I
break
think
sales records.
I think it's going to break sales records for sure. I think it's going to be polished. It's going to work and run really well. But it's going to do the Red Dead 2 thing where it's going to be really boring, too much attention to detail or certain things that shouldn't matter. And it's going to have less to do and less missions than GTA, than all the past GTA games. That's what I think is going to happen.
Okay. You're more
Yeah.
optimistic than I am.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a polished game. It's going to run how it's supposed to, but it's going to have all the stuff that doesn't matter. It's going to have this huge map with nothing to do in it. It's not going to have enough content for the single player campaign, but it is going to have a lot of attention to the multiplayer stuff. That's what I think it's going to get.
Yeah. I think it will. I think they have no more like vision there at that company. All the people, all the visionaries that have been with that company since I guess GTA 3 and on to like through Red Dead 2. The people that made those games, the glory that they were, they're not there anymore. And so this is why you see this striking decrease in quality since Red Dead 2 in everything they've done. And and this hyper focus on the one thing that's continuing to make them money, which is the online.
Yeah.
And even that is, you could argue, has like degraded in quality.
Yeah. Yeah. There hasn't been any single player stuff for GTA 5, even though the game's been re-released on everything since like what? When did GTA 5 come out? 2013? It's like a 10-year-old game. And it has gotten 0 single player expansions. Everything's been multiplayer. There's even been story expansions to the main game that have been exclusive to multiplayer. Like, that's crazy to me to think about. Especially since GTA 4. I never played GTA 4, but I remember I felt like that whole, like a year or 2 years after it was released, we were getting like all kinds of expansions for it, right? Lost in the Dam, Ballad of Gay Tony.
Yeah.
There's like one other one. It's like, oh, here's like more campaigns, extra playable characters in this world you like love to play in. And it's just like it's gone with GTA 5. It's so weird to like see that.
Even Red Dead. Like Red Dead has had nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, Red Dead 1 it only had one like single player expansion, it was Undead Nightmare, but that was huge. Like, that was a whole ass other game. Like, I'm fine with that. And Red Dead 2 hasn't had any of that. It's so weird to see this. Like,
and they put out those remasters and they're not at the level of quality that you would expect from the Rockstar of all people. It's like when
Rockstar released something, it was like, even if it wasn't GTA, it was like something incredible, something polished, really good. Like Max Payne 3 was another example. That's like an incredible fucking game that knows what it wanted to do. It had a vision for what it wanted to do, and it does that very, very fucking well. But I don't know what's happened, but that's not the same Rockstar anymore. Like,
yeah, it's just Rockstar by name. I think the people, the great people behind Rockstar are not there. Like the Housers are doing their own thing. I know like the Benz, Leslie Benzies is doing, he's doing like his own, like, what was his game called? Everything? Or it's kind of like the GTA Online thing, but even scaled up even more. People thought it was fucking like an NFT game or some shit.
Yeah.
But they're off doing like their own things, and that shit looks cool. Rocks, GTA. I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. So that's why they have to buy the competition, because they're not capable themselves of building a product that can compete with this thing. So they had to buy them so that they could make it. And I'm sure that part of it will be good because they're getting some competent people making it. but the rest of it, I have no confidence in. And then, of course, it'll be littered with, their like microtransaction bullshit, shark
Yeah,
cards, and all that garbage. So, which
getting
that
bummed
game
out.
already is.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
getting bummed out like thinking about it. I
Uh,
have no confidence it's going to be anything like good. You know what needs to happen? I think other companies just step up and like Activision owns Gun. Release another Gun. Like, I
wow.
would take another Gun right now. And be like, hey, this is how you make like a fun, like Western open world game that's single player focused. It's never going to happen, but I would love to see it happen. Um, but yeah, we'll see what happens with it, man. Like, I'm not going to hold my breath on anything Rockstar puts out, though. Um, Other news: Valve is selling certified refurbished Steam decks, so that's cool. Get a refurbished Steam Deck from Valve for a discounted price. Go check that out.
Yeah.
Um, oh, fuck, I'm still gonna have to go through. All right, Bionicle, Masks of Power. This is a fan game, right? Didn't we talk about this before?
Yeah.
This looks dope.
It's
Yeah,
actually
this looks cool.
coming. What I
Yeah.
didn't know is that they have an agreement with Lego that um they have to put this out for free.
Oh yeah,
They cannot charge, they cannot sell this game.
which I think like was kind of already like the expectation, right? Like you
Well,
can't just make a game on someone else's IP and charge for it without permission.
yeah. Well, I thought they had like an agreement that they could do that or like license it or something, but
So that's where it
it's
gets tricky because I don't want to talk about like copyright law and IP law, but if you license something, there has to be like an agreement for a certain expectation of like, residuals, and you have to have somebody there to monitor the license to a certain extent. Like it opens up a can of worms if like you go to sell the game, because then it's no longer like, yeah, you can use our IP. Now it's a licensing deal. It's not so much like once money gets involved that like complicates it,
yeah.
because then the brand can look bad. You can argue a free game can make the brand look bad too, but
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I figured if they were even allowed to do this at all, that they did have some sort of agreement, but I didn't think that it was just like, oh, you can do whatever you want, just put it out for free.
yeah,
Like even that's like very generous.
yeah, it is very generous. Like that's still really cool of them to do. Um, that's the problem with fan games is that the company could come in at any time and decide like, hey, we don't want you to do this, and then all this time you put into working on it is
Yeah,
gone. And they can also decide like halfway through the deal, like, hey, I know we gave you permission before, but we're rescinding that, and there's nothing you can do about it.
yeah,
But once you like get money involved and you actually officially license it out as a product to sell, I think you don't have that luxury anymore. Is the problem, or at least it gets more complicated because now like that money's involved. You have to like get a contract written, lawyers need to go over it, notify it, verify it, versus just, hey, you have our permission to use it, just don't charge for it, because then they still have that ownership to rescind it at any time without having to get contracts written up. At least that's what I think is going on. Because like once you get money involved, it's not a favor anymore. It's a deal. Even if like they're not charging them anything, it's not a favor anymore. It's a deal. Um, and with that, there's certain expectations in having a contract. But that's what I think, at least. And I'm not a lawyer, but I think my logic's pretty sound. Um, but no,
oh
this
my
game looks
god,
fucking dope.
they have
Like,
free 3D models of every piece they created for the game.
yeah, dude. I was about to say that. There's some cool shit here. Like, there's a lot of work that went into this, like for just a free fan game. I'm definitely gonna check this out once it drops. Um, yeah, they got a demo out now. You can check it out. It's on Unreal Engine 5, so go watch that. I'm gonna get through the rest of this quick. My baby's crying. I feel bad for my wife who's been with him for like 2 hours. Um, and game releases August 15th. We got Everspace 2 dropping on PS5 and Xbox Series X. Hammerwatch 2 dropping on PC. You like Hammerwatch, right? Like you recommend that?
Yeah, we played the demo during the demo derby. It was fucking incredible. So I'm buying this game.
Yeah, this looks dope. I'll check it out too. Moving Out 2 is dropping on PC, Switch, PS4, PS5. Xbox One, and Series X. On August 16th, we have On Guard coming out on PC. This game looked fucking incredible. Like, I wanted
Yes.
to play this game so bad. I missed it during the demo derby, but I think there's still a demo out there I can try out. So we also got the Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood releasing on PC and Switch. It's like some visual novel, like narrative experience. Yeah, looks
Also,
cool. Looks interesting.
Devolver joint.
Devolver, yeah. It's a very casual, like it's like a story-driven choose your own adventure game. Looks neat. The character designs are cool. I like the art style a lot, so might be worth checking out. We also got Affogato. Is that how you pronounce it?
Affogato.
Avocado.
Avocado.
Affogato. It's an RPG featuring unique reverse tower defense mechanic. What? Really? That's cool.
Reverse tower defense. That's when you are the attacker,
Invader,
right?
yeah. I think so. There's all kinds of stuff in this game. It's like a JRPG reverse tower defense game with like looks like a visual novel storytelling. Okay, this might be cool.
Cafe simulator.
Yeah, this looks pretty cool. I want to check it out. Kentucky Route Zero TV Edition coming for PS5 and Xbox Series X. You can already get it on Steam if you want. Marble It Up Ultra is releasing on PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Series X. This looks cool. It's like a little marble game.
Marble Madness.
Yeah. Red Dead Redemption, talked about that already. Switch and PS4 for way too goddamn much money. Then we got the Shadow Gambit, The Cursed Crew, releasing on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. It's a strategy RPG tactical game.
Nope.
Looks pretty cool. I think it looks cool. The character designs are neat.
I like the pirate theme.
I like the pirate theme. Supernatural pirate theme is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks neat. Shinobi non Grata. If anyone wants to tell me what that means, let me know. Oh, this looks cool. It's like a 2D side scroller.
Oh.
Like a hardcore retro
like
2D side
NES
scroller
game. Yeah.
Yeah. With slightly better animation than you expect on NES. I like this. I really like this actually. Let's go on the wish list.
This looks awesome.
Okay, I see. The animation's like I thought it was sprite based, but it's not entirely sprite based animation. Like there's sprites, but if you look at like that lion boss, you see the way his limbs are moving. That's like, yeah. NES can't do that. But still, it looks cool. I'll check it out.
It reminds me of the Legend of Kage on NES. If anyone remembers that game.
Yeah, dude. Next is Vampire Survivors releasing on Switch. About time. That's a great Switch game. That'd be a great Switch. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk is dropping August 18th for PC and Switch. This looks incredible. This looks so dope. It is ex Jet Set Radio devs, I think, or maybe not. But I know the guy who did the music for Jet Set is going to be on this game, so that's cool. And it just straight up looks like Jet Set, so I'm cool with it, dude. Bring it on.
With NFL skateboards and bikes.
Skateboards, yeah. It's got bikes and skateboards now, so go check it out. Madden NFL 24, for those of you who care about it, for PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Series X, because of course it is. There's a new one every year, so.
Already in the top sellers on Steam, by the way.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Radiant Silvergun is like a shooter, bullet hell shooter? Yeah, I think that's the term for it.
Bullet hell, I think, is a remake of a 1998 shooter from Treasure.
There you go. Go check it out if you're into those types of games. And finally, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is releasing August 18th because that did not learn its lesson from the other like horror movie icon games we've gotten. For those of you who forgot, we got a fucking Friday the 13th game that sold like shit. We got a Predator game that sold like shit. And multiple Alien games, most of them sold like shit. we have that Killer Clowns Matter Space game coming out that nobody's talking about anymore. So
well, it's not out yet, but
it's coming out, and already people are done talking about it.
I think
so.
what all these guys learned is that, hey, we should just put our characters into Dead by Daylight.
Yeah. Yeah, they should. Because they're all Dead by Daylight anyway, so...
Alien is... They just announced Alien for it.
Yeah, so it's like...
And yeah, they all are just that game anyway, so it's not even like...
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just put them all in Dead by Daylight. Just take the money for the licensing deal and just do that. Don't make your own game, because it's going to cost way more money. It's going to be a piece of shit. As you get delisted in like a year, like Friday the 13th did. I think Predator got delisted too, so. And that's it for the show, everybody. Yeah. Yes, thank you guys so much. We talked a lot. I thought it was going to be a shorter show, but we got really off topic a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm cool with it. I had a lot of fun. I'm going to get Pat the Bags out of the shot after I help my wife with the baby, because I could hear that kid crying from over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Tell people they can find us.
Guys, go to Gameoverse.com. Go to Gameoverse.com/Twitch. Gameoverse.com/YouTube. Gameoverse.com/Discord. Hop in there. I've just been chilling in the chat. I've just been chilling in there. So if you see me in there, just hop in there and just hang out. I've just been hanging out. We can hang out, play some video games, you know, do stuff like that. The video game thing. There's video games coming out. You playing that Baldur's Gate? I'm not, but
I'm not either. I want to, but I'm not.
It's not my jam. It's not my style.
It's absolutely my jam. So
that you roll literal dice in that game too.
Yeah,
there's literal dice rolls, which is crazy.
Yeah, bro, I fucks with it.
Yeah, that'll do it. Thanks.
Yep. Thank you, everybody. Peace out. Be safe. Be excellent to each other. We'll see you guys next week.